Hey friends, this is Wolf, and in today's video I want to show you guys how you can create stunning video ads like these ones you're seeing right now with the new GPT image API and a couple other tools in a super simple n8n no-code workflow. So without further ado, let's get started. As you can see here, I've created a bunch of different ads here with a little ad creative Telegram bot, and they do look pretty nice, right? So in today's video, I want to show you guys how you can create a super simple Telegram bot like this one here, and you can prompt it anything, you know, like create a Red Bull ad or Monster ad or a Nutella ad, Coca-Cola ad, McDonald's ad, and so forth. And then it'll create these cool videos here and create the images first, which look very accurate, and then also create the animations for the frames here, right? And we do this using, well, some very nice AI tools and pretty simple API workflow to combine everything without any actual code, since we will be using n8n already. So I'd say without further ado, let's get started and hit a new workflow here in n8n. By the way, I'm not affiliated with any of these ads or companies. It's really just, you know, pretty cool workflow for educational purposes. But if they do look for some new marketing people, then I'll also be open for that. So if you guys know some executives, let me know. So we will start by setting up a new bot here on bot father. Oh, and by the way, look here, it says subscribe to Wolf AI Dev. So you want to go to bot father here and say new bot, and then we can call this something like Wolf at creative agent, and then Wolf at creative agent bot, something like that. And then you want to copy your access token here already, and then you want to add a new credential here, and as you can see, it keeps getting a little bit fuller and fuller since we add more and more Telegram bots here, and we can just call this, well, add creative agent, something like that. So you wanna create your Telegram bot here for that, and this will be the entry point of our workflow here, as we, you know, typically start the Telegram bots at creative agent like that. And now we will be using a couple cool tools for this video. So one of the tools is of course going to be OpenAI. So we can pretty much start with that right away. And to do that, if you haven't done already, you can go to platform.openai.com on your dev account and then create a new secret key here, add creative agent, and create the secret key here and copy this. And then in n8n you wanna have an OpenAI node to message a model, and then here you want to have a new credential, put in your OpenAI key, and save that, right? I've done that already, so I will close this. Now we can select the image gen one. Now keep in mind though, for the new GPT image API, we actually will be using a custom HTTP node to call that, because as far as I'm concerned here, they only have the DALL-E 2 and DALL-E 3 model, right? So we need to do a custom call to actually use the new where do we have it, image gen model here. Let me see, where do we have it, images, create image, and it's going to be our new super powerful GPT image 1 model here already. So we need to do a custom call for that, but that's no problem. So just keep your key here in your clipboard already. And then we'll go back to text here. And for this one, we can pretty much just choose a super cheap and simple model like for our mini, because this will be our actual like prompt engineer for the image, or in general, well, yeah, for the image, and then later on also for the video prompt, right? So I'm just going to get an expression here, copy my prompt here, which is going to be my system prompt here for the AI expert prompt engineer. And then this is going to be the system message, and then we can output this as JSON. And also quite important, actually, let me see, this is going to be our image prompt. Well, we do need some user input, right? So you want to add a new message here, which is going to be the user message, and then this is going to be the text from Telegram, because we want to use the bot like this, right? So let me just trigger this. Well, this can stop because we don't have a user message for now, but as you can see now, we do have all the Telegram information here. So now for the system message, you can just simply drag this little json.message.text as an expression field here, right? And then this is going to be the message. So you'd say something like, you know, create an epic Coca-Cola ad or something like that. And then it's going to craft the prompt based on that. And as you can see here, it gives me a prompt and a style. So it's going to say an epic Coca-Cola advertisement scene showcasing a refreshing bottle, blah, 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 and so forth, right? So next step, let's see. Next, we want to make the actual call and then use that, right? So the way we do this is pretty simple. We do a custom HTTP call, and now we need to use some custom settings here, right? So first of all, you want to use this URL here. It's going to be a post call, of course. We can also name this generate image, something like that. By the way, I still have a cold, so apologize. My voice is getting better soon though, but I feel like I need to pump out those videos because it's such an interesting and important period of time right now with AI launches. We just need to capitalize on it, you know. So here you set your authorization header. It's a pretty typical auth way for making API calls or just calls in general. And then you want to have a bearer and then your key here, right? Which is going to be the OpenAI key that you copied here, copy to your clipboard, or you can make a new one because this one has to be in plain text here, right? So let me also go ahead and create a new secret key and copy this here. This is going to be my key. And then we also need the body, of course. And well, we could just use full JSON, but I will actually define the fields here separately, so it's a little bit easier for you guys to follow. So first of all, we want to reference the model, which is going to be the GPT image 1, our new one. Then we want to reference the prompt, which is going to be our prompt here, like that. Then we want to reference the number of output results, which, you know, you could also have 2, 3, whatever. We are going to have one that we work with, so we kind of gotta hope it's going to be good. The thing is, if you do it like that, during my calls at least, it was seen as an integer instead of it was seen as a string instead of an integer. So what I advise you to do actually is to make this an expression and then use the brackets here to actually make this an integer, right? And then let's also see quality, and then you want to set the quality to high. We do have low, medium, high, and auto for text generation, and these high quality ad campaign creatives, kind of, we want to make sure it's high. It's going to be a little bit more pricey. It's going to be all right though. So depending on the size and all of that, the high, like approximately the high generation cost could be anywhere in the range of like $20 to $25 cents. So it is quite expensive. It is also like highly detailed though. And for example, the medium one would be way less, like half, and then the low one, the low quality, would only be like 2 or 3 cents, right? So there's a huge difference between the quality setting here and your actual API costs, right? So keep that in mind. Now for the size, we kind of want to create these portrait, like short form kinda ads actually, and they are a little bit more like more token usage than a squared one, because squared would be 1024 by 1024. So right, obviously it's going to be more pixels if we do portrait, so it's going to be 1024 by 1536, and those are the sizes that OpenAI currently offers for this model. It's going to be this one as portrait, this one as landscape with the 1536 at the beginning, obviously, or just a squared 1024 by 1024, right? So that's kind of all we need here, if I'm not mistaken. So I think we can just go ahead and run that and then see what it comes up with, right? And quite interestingly, this OpenAI node works that it keeps executing until the result is actually appearing. So that's kind of cool. We don't need to add like extra wait nodes or something. We can just kind of, you know, keep it running. Okay. So yeah, we do that. And then while this is executing, we can actually do two things. We can add a new set field, and this is going to generate a unique ID, because we will be using that for a cloud upload in just a little bit. So you can just call this unique ID. We could also do it without kind of this setting, but I feel like it's kind of cool. So you want to use this expression here. It's basically just generating a random little string here. And then what we can also do, once this node here is finished, we can also add the next one, which is going to be a base64 string, right? Because the way the OpenAI API works, it also shows you the tokens and everything here, is that it gives you the image as a string here, as a base64 string. So we can just call this something like image underscore base64, and then we just drag this in here as an expression. Yep, as an expression, just like that. And that should be it. So we can test the step and just set the two new variables here to work with them in the next step. And now the way we do this is we actually now need to upload our image to some kind of cloud service, right? So the way we do this now is that we need to upload it to a service that works as a hosting service, but can also, or is also accessible for our video model, right? And we will be using Kling for the video model. So now in this node here, we will be using Cloudinary, which is a pretty cool platform here, Cloudinary. And you know, it has a pretty cool free plan, so you can just sign up here with your email, and they have all kinds of integrations and all of that. So you just want to go to the settings here to upload. As you can see, I did use it quite a lot, and I still have so many credits left. And then you want to go to upload, and you want to have your presets here. And I just made this add agent preset, right? So you can just add an upload preset, call it something, and then you want to select unsigned. And well, unsigned is pretty much you can upload without an API key, and signed is you need proper authentication. We don't need that, so I just go back, and if you want to, you can copy these settings here, and then we want to have the image, video, and raw endpoints, although we don't need video here, for example, or raw, but yeah, we only need the image endpoint here. So I'm just gonna zoom in a little bit, and you can kind of copy these settings here if you'd like to, right? So the way this works here is pretty damn simple. So you wanna use this URL here. This is your Cloudinary account ID pretty much to do an unsigned upload. So you go to Cloudinary, and then here on the top left it shows your well, cloud ID pretty much. So you want to copy this one, and then you want to put it in here, right? Because we do not use any proper auth. And this is the unsigned upload, and also make sure this is going to be an image. And we can directly work with this base64 string because Cloudinary takes our base64 string for the image as an image upload, actually, right? So this is pretty cool. Now you wanna let me just name this upload to Cloudinary, which is pretty cool, and it's completely free. So I'm always trying to kind of find some good free solutions for you guys. Actually, here we want to use from data because we also have different parameters we need to set here, right? And it's going to be the following. So first of all, we want to have the file. Now the file is going to be a little bit tricky because we do need to put the base64 string in here, but this does not work because we actually need to let the Cloudinary know, okay, this is a certain base64 formatting. So we could have done this in this set node. I'm just going to do it in this expression here though, and it's going to be the following. We just prepend this little string here. So we tell it, hey, it's image data, it's going to be an image, and it's going to be the base64 string, and then we append the base64 string, right? This is kind of how we do it, and then this is going to be the final result. And then Cloudinary knows, okay, I need to take this base64 string with the proper formatting here, and then they know, okay, it's the image, right? So now very, very important, this is very important, you do need to specify an upload preset here for this to work, and also for the unsigned upload to properly like bind to your account. So this is going to be the one you previously set here. So it's going to be this name here, add agent, right? Or if you want to call it differently, feel free to. So you want to specify that as well. And then you also want to, I mean, we don't have to, but that's kind of how I made my preset. You give it the public ID, and you can just drag and drop your unique ID here, and that's gonna be it. So it always has these special file names, right? So let me see, I think that's going to be it. We do not need additional headers. We don't need any authentication. We can just kind of post it. see what's happening. So as you can see, we do get a bunch of information here back, which is quite interesting. We get our links back, our normal link and our secure URL, and we will use these in just a little bit to actually work with our video upload, right? Or our video generation actually. So first of all, we will add another OpenAI node though, because we do need to create the video prompt now. So we will message a model here. We can select our image gen, and now we want to select the 4O mini again, which is doing a pretty fantastic job. And now you want to have a system prompt again. So I'm going to use the following system prompt here, which is pretty much going to be or telling our agent here, hey, you are a world-class AI video director and all of that. And then it just, needs to come up with a good video prompt. And then of course we want to have a user prompt again. And the user prompt is actually going to be the same prompt we had here from Telegram. So it's going to be, where do we have text? This one here. It's going to be the message.text from your Telegram trigger JSON. Okay. So for example, create an epic Coca-Cola ad. Okay. Well, I could give some more information like, with cool water splashes or whatever, but this should technically work as well. So we want to output it as JSON. And I think that's gonna be it. So we can call this the video prompt. Now we just test the step, see what it comes up with. Excuse me. And yeah, here we do have our video prompt. So let's see, how this one goes. Quite interesting to see these live prompts here. And now we can have our next call. It's going to be another HTTP request, and we will be using the very famous Kling video model for this. You've probably heard of Kling before. Now Kling has some, pretty steep conditions to actually access their official API from their own end. Like you need to have like, I think a couple thousands of dollars of budget for the minimum quota. So I will actually be using a different platform for that, and it's going to be the PiAPI. And PiAPI is a very nice API wrapper, which includes all these tools here, such as Midjourney, Flux Image Gen, Kling Video Gen, Luma Labs, and also Hailuo, which is super cool. And we will be using let me just show you guys the Kling Video Gen here, and we can also go to the API docs here. It'll give us more information on how to build the actual API calls here, but just in general, I can recommend PiAPI. They have pretty competitive pricing, actually, pretty good pricing, and you can just kind of scroll through everything here and see what they offer and what you can do and all of that. And they do have. Let me go to API service, and then let me just find the Kling model here, exactly Kling API. And then you can see everything here. For example, the standard 5-second video is $26, the 10-second one 52, then the Pro 5-second 46, and so forth, right? And they also do have in the Pro variation the 2.0 model, which is very powerful. So you can even access that, right? We could actually do that, although I think I'm using the 1.6 for now, which is also very, very good. The 2.0 is incredibly good though. You've probably seen it already. They launched it recently. And in general, this PiAPI, they're doing a very good job. I'm quite happy with the service because you kind of have this API wrapper from all these kind of tools in one single service. So you can just sign up there using GitHub, for example. And then once you are in your workspace here, you can create API keys. They also do have some free credits. I'm not sure about the Kling one though. So I just added $10 to kind of play around, okay? So I'm going to call this video agent here, and we can create a new key. Well, okay, no, yeah, that's fine. Video agent, and then you just kind of copy your key here, and now we go back here. And now here, we will actually be using the auth headers again. So this one is going to be a little bit differently. It's going to be this name here, X API key. And then you just put your API key in here, okay? That's pretty much how it goes. Now, of course, we also need to reference the PiAPI here, which is going to be this one. And then you want to make a post call. Then you want to call this animate image, and then it's going to have body, of course. So for the body, we can actually be using our own JSON. Let me just show you guys what I'm using here. And it's going to be this one. So you're going to reference the model, which is going to be the Kling one. It's going to be a video generation. Then you want to reference your image URL, which is going to be the one from Cloudinary. Now, if you wonder, okay, how does it work? You just go to Cloudinary here, and then you use the URL here, and you just put it in like that. And it's going to be the same one for this one here for the prompt. The prompt is our last node, so we can just reference the JSON object here. And you if you want to drag something in, you just do it like that, and it's going to reference all of that, right? So that's pretty much, everything we need to do here. Then you can also set some more parameters here, like you can add some negative prompts, you can change the duration, you can change the aspect ratio. We kind of want to, use the short form content ratio, the portrait mode, the version here, which we could also do 2.0, for example. I'm quite happy with 1.6 for now. And then the standard mode, which could also be the pro mode, right? So yeah, that's pretty much what we do need here. So let's run the task and see what it comes up with. So as you can see now, we do have a bunch of information here. Most importantly, our status is pending now. We do have the prompt here again, and we can access everything we told it to do, right? So one thing we need to do now is very simple. It's just waiting, right? So we do want to wait for a little bit here. Typically Kling is kind of okay, like it takes a couple minutes. So I just do 5 minutes to be sure. And then you want to add the status, update again after this node here. So we want to get updates on that video, obviously. So let me just, you know what? We can just do it like that for now. So we want to go to this here, and then we want to reference our task ID, which is going to be this one. Well, hold on 1 second. Now, sometimes if you are on fixed and then you drag something in, it's going to the front. So make sure you select expression here. Now you drag it in, and now it's exactly as we want it to be, pretty much. Now also you do need the XAPI key here again, but that's going to be everything you need. So you can just kind of copy the key here like that. Go to the video updates here, and I think that should be it pretty much. So now, oh, it's completed already. That is quite surprising, but I think it actually is. So it was quite fast. Let's see, Setos 99. Well, it should be, I think. It should be. So yeah, anyways, this is how you get video updates here. So you basically just, reference your task ID, and then you add your authentication, which is going to be your API key here. And then, you can just test the step, and it's going to give you the result here. And then we can actually go ahead and, download the video, which is going to be quite simple. Whenever you want to download something, it's really pretty simple. So we simply have a get call to that URL. So it's going to be, I believe it should be this one. So let's just drag it here like that. And then let's test the step. And then as you can see, it's going to download this MP4 file here. We can view it here. And as you can see, it did animate our video. It just kind of zooms in, and yeah, it's it's pretty cool, I guess. We can still fine tune and everything, with the prompt, and also with the initial image and all of that, or just be more precise with the general prompt, or like add the description from Telegram. This is still like our first initial test, right? But still, this is doing a pretty good job. So now we can just send this result here. So it's going to be send the video like that. You want to make sure that it's your own agent here. And as you can see, we are still kind of here creating an epic Coca-Cola ad. And then let's just call this send video. And then you want to make sure that it's going to be your Telegram chat ID here. It's going to be a binary file called data, and you can also add a little caption here. Here's your add creative, something like that, and that should pretty much be everything, I believe. So we want to go here, have this node execute, and then let's see. So let's see, did I call this data though? I believe this is, yeah, this, so this should work. Is it the It just took a little bit. I'm not sure exactly why, but here we go. Here we have the video now. And now we can pretty much test the workflow in its, yeah, in its totality, I want to say. So this is the full workflow. Actually, as you guys can see, it's still pretty simple for such a powerful tool. So we can just kind of test it here. Well, for testing it, we should have the wait node here though. So we do want to wait, well, at least 3 minutes, although it kind of, it probably only takes like a minute or so, but we kind of just wait a little bit longer to make sure it's actually, it's actually working. So this would be the full workflow. I mean, you could also get the status and then kind of do some if check if it's completed or not. But you can also just wait a few minutes if you want to, whatever you kind of prefer. So I'm just going to test this here. Going to prompt a new thingy here, like create an epic can add with water splashes and a cinematic look, something like that. And then as you can see, it's going to prompt through everything here. It's going to create the image prompt for us, then it's going to create our image, and then it'll create the unique IDs, upload to Cloudinary, go to our video prompter, start sending to or talking to PiAPI to actually query the video task. Then we just wait a little bit for the Kling video generation to finish. Then we get the updates, grab our final URL to access the video, download it, and send it on Telegram. So that's pretty much our agent. And here again is our first result from this one ad. And while this is kind of generating, the image always takes a little bit. I can show you these ones again. So, I made these during the testing. So this is a pretty cool one. This is also pretty cool, like hand design. And yeah, this is a kind of different angle. It's kind of like floating and water splashes. Here we have the Nutella jar again, and also some hazelnuts and all of that. So you can also tell it, add some of these elements, add some of these elements. Here we do have a different Coca-Cola bottle, some pretty cool splashes, also pretty cool lightning. You can kind of see the light effects here on the glass even. And here we have one for McDonald's for like a burger, And yeah, now it's waiting. So I'm just gonna wait 2 minutes for this to finish, and then once we get the updates, I'm going to, skip to that point. So I'll see you guys in a second. Okay, so we should be finished here in just a moment, so we can hopefully watch it live. And yeah, friends, this should be done in just a little bit. And here we go. Pretty interesting. Let's see what we come up with, and let's see what the final result looks like. Here we go. So let's download it, and this is the Red Bull ad. So as you can see, also pretty cool. GPT nailed the image pretty nicely with the logo and the text. Everything looks pretty good. And then Kling has a pretty cool water splash effect for the full can and like the lighting and all of that. So I'm actually quite happy with that, especially given that we made this in like a couple minutes and didn't like do too much of like prompt engineering, So yeah, here we go. This was the Coca-Cola one. This was the energy can kind of, and this is the full workflow. So let's do a final review again. We start with the Telegram trigger. As always, you could also do manual triggers, webhooks, Discord bot, WhatsApp bot, all kinds of things, honestly. Then we have our image prompter, craft the like more descriptive prompt. We generate an image with the new OpenAI API, so we still need to have like a custom call for that. I guess n8n will implement that, well, probably pretty soon into their own nodes. Then we generate the unique ID, upload to Cloudinary with our preset that we previously defined. Then we create the new video prompt here. Then we queue the task using our PiAPI, which is a pretty cool wrapper to access Kling and super easy to set up. Just takes a couple minutes, wait for the task to finish, get the video updates here, get the final prompt, well, or the final URL, I should say. Then we can download the video here and have the binary data, and then pretty much just send our binary data to Telegram so we can view the video here, and we can do it here. Now, how can you kind of extend on this workflow? There are lots of things. You could add like Airtable or Google Sheet or Google Drive support and kind of upload them automatically to your drive as well. You could also upload them to YouTube Shorts directly, for example, by adding the YouTube notes here. And kind of have this happen automatically on a daily basis. This is kind of just like manual trigger, but with the Telegram bot. So we just have the history here. We can look at everything, and we can also access it very easily from the phone. What I do like about Telegram so much, you can easily access it from both your browser and your phone. It's always synced, and they do a pretty good job there. And yeah, what did we use? So we are using OpenAI obviously for the prompting and for the image gen. Now then we are using Cloudinary here for our uploads. We are using the PiAPI to access the Kling models at a pretty fair rate, I want to say, for video gen. And yeah, that's pretty much what we use, and that's our full agent. So yep, that's our full agent. Let me know what you think, guys. I'd be super happy if you enjoyed this and leave a comment. And also, if you don't want to miss any of the future guides or videos, feel free to subscribe. It would mean the world to me. I'm just starting all of this, and I can tell you I do have some very interesting projects planned. So well, if you stick to here, I guess I can just tell you. So I am actually building a Higgs field wrapper. So they don't have a public API. I'm building my own, and that is going pretty nicely. And also I'm building a pretty cool workflow, which I'm actually going to do a video in n8n about, and it's going to be a photo AI tool. So how you can basically copy any face to create new images and like professional business shots using that face. And it's going to be a pretty complex n8n workflow, one of the rather complexer ones, so it's going to be bigger than this one, but it does a pretty phenomenal job. So yeah, hopefully you will see that in the next couple days. All right, so thank you so much for watching, guys. Let me know what you think. Feel free to subscribe, and if you have any questions, just feel free to comment. I'm happy to help, and I'll see you guys in the next one. So have a wonderful day, and Wolf is out. Peace.